is my town. It's my town. It's my town. It's my town. This is my town. It's my town. It's my town. It's my town. This is my town.
What's up, guys? Controlled Gas here, bringing you a deck profile for the Prophecy deck that I actually just picked up, but I've been, playing it forever. Whether it be on Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro or Dion or in the past when I've had the deck. And it's always been one of my all-time favorite decks. So I figured I'd pick it up again, and I actually had help from one of the best Prophecy players right now in the game, if not the best, and that is Carl Manigat. Goes to my locals. He's a great guy. He's, always willing to help people, whether it be with trades. Like, he helped me pick up this deck. About half the deck I got from him, half the deck I got from somebody else. But not only did I pick it up from him, and he helped me out with that, with a lot of, just getting the bulk stuff to me. He helped me with the build for the current and upcoming meta, and he helped me with the, just some of the plays that I missed out on, because if you guys don't know this, I haven't really played the deck since pre-Tachyon. I got rid of the deck to play Evil Storm because it was a lot cheaper at the time, and I wouldn't need to pick anything else. I wouldn't need to pick up anything from Tachyon basically for it. With this, I was looking at least another $300 on top of what the deck was already worth, and with Priestesses being played at 3 at the time and being $150 a piece, which I already had, but needless to say, the deck was incredibly expensive. Blue boys were going for like $25-30 a piece for ultis, 20 for the ultras. Masters were like 60. The deck was pricey, and I had everything, but I wasn't willing to put another $300 into it just to play it. So I did move it for Evil Storms, which later on I strongly regretted because it is one of my favorites of all time. But yeah, that's enough of me babbling, guys. Hope you enjoy the deck profile, and yeah, shout out to Carl. Alright, guys, we'll get started with the monsters. I play triple Blue Boy, Spellbook, Magician of Prophecy, obvious standard at 3. Triple Temperance. Temperance in the World is way too strong right now, and seeing him plus a Prophecy turn 1 makes going second okay. In such a dice roll format, something like that's huge. And then I play the 1 Justice. I do only play 3 targets for Justice, and to be honest, most of the time I'd rather just have him in deck to get with Temperance. But it does get you out of really awkward situations where you don't open like a Secrets. You can always do this, play a Tower or Chump of Wisdom, and get his effect off to add the Secrets and a Priestess to your hand, even if it's not necessarily live at the time. Or if you have a Regeki break and a life play, you can always add World and then pitch it. And then I do play 2 Priestess and the 1 World. World is such a power card right now. It's, in my opinion, the reason that this, alongside Fate, it's the reason that this deck is playable. And it's so good, but at the same time, I can justify only running 1, just because you can recycle it so easily with your Spellbook of Lives. And you can essentially recycle life in the same way. So, if you can keep just getting him off, it's ridiculous. He nets so much advantage, and it gives you another Fate play. On to the most important part of the deck, the spells. I play triple Spellbook of Secrets, 2 Spellbook of the Master, fairly standard there, 2 Tower, 3 is just too much, it's too cloggy. I draw 2 of these, enough as it is. Multiple copies of this isn't necessarily bad, especially if you're going first and have the play, just because if you're playing something like, playing against something like Harpies, they're going to play their field spell over yours, but having another field spell to answer that is really strong. Then against my better judgment, but because Carl very, very strongly advised it, I do play the 3 Spellbook Library and the Crescent. World makes this a lot more playable, because if you go first, and you play one of these, and then you go Secrets and then Master, or whatever, and then either that turn or your next turn you drop World and bring those back, then this is live again, which is nice. Then for the 1-ofs, 1 Power, 1 Eternity, 1 Life, 1 Wisdom, 1 Fate, and kind of generic spell cards. because Fiendish Chain is a thing and it really hurts this deck. Plus sometimes on phase blind spacing against something like Gear Gia, hoping to get a gear or something is, you know, reasonably strong. It also helps out with the Bujin and Fire Fist matchups because you can hit the Tenkies. And then 1 Book of Moon and 1 Dark Hole. And then lastly for the traps, play triple Fiendish Chain. Don't really need to explain that too much. 2 Regeki Break, I like this over Phoenix Wing, because with the exception of Exceed and Synchro monsters, and even Exceed monsters to an extent, you know, goes against this, but if you Phoenix Wing it, they're just going to get it back, and you're going to have to deal with it again. So, you know, the reason with Exceeds is, like, you know, they could just make it again next turn. And if it was just a one-of, then, you know, it helps them out almost, in a way. But Regeki Break just gets rid of it. I actually discussed this with Carl a little bit, and he was trying to explain why he prefers Phoenix Wing because of specifically he noted Bujins because hair helps Yamato dodge this. But my retort to that was, when am I gonna Regeki Break a Yamato if I'm playing against Bujins, especially if they have a hair engraved? You know, Phoenix Wing's gonna do the same thing, except Turtle's gonna stop it instead. And even so, if you can waste a hair and you have like a world with power play or whatever, because that gets over the Yamato with Crane, it's still really strong. So even if you do have to use it for whatever reason on a Yamato, then you're fine. Like, you'll be okay, I promise. But your Bujin matchup's already really good, so going with the Regeki Breaks isn't gonna hurt that at all. 1 Compulse, it's pretty OP in my opinion. With things like 101 roaming around, it just kind of stops that. Torrential, things that spam, I guess. You play Wisdoms, and you usually only keep 1, tops 2 dudes on board. Excuse me. Usually if it's 2, it's like World or Priestess with somebody little, that you don't really care about the little one, so you can always just Torrent and then Wisdom. 1 Bottomless for everything, I guess, Bujin specifically. And 1 Solemn Warning. That's it for the main deck. I'll go to the side next. And this is a bit interesting for the side, as this was more than anything a very strong combination of both my and Carl's ideas. But 2 Effect Valor and 3 Maxi for the hand traps. I was not a fan of the Effect Valor on the side. I very much so liked the Maxi in the side. I can definitely see that drawn to your advantage, but, you know, Valor, it's kind of iffy, but, you know, he very strongly pushed for it, said it immensely helps in the Fire Fist matchup, you know, so some other things like that. 2 Summon Limit, you never summon more than twice per turn with this deck, like, literally ever. It's damn near impossible. You'd have to have, like, the nuts anyway. But this absolutely destroys things like Heretics. Even like Fire Fist, it really, really, really hurts. Harpies, it hurts if they don't have their field spell. I probably wouldn't side it in against Harpies, but some people can, I guess. 2 Debunk Mermail, period. Your Mermail matchup is very awkward, game 1. So these being able to get rid of their 1 gunned, because now everybody's playing salvage, so they can get, you know, as many guns as they want. Doing this to just get gunned out of the situation, out of the picture, is just, it's so important. And this also stops things like Effect Valor, and nobody would play Maxi against you, really. But like Effect Valor and DD Crow, which are pretty strong against this. 2 Needle Sealing, pretty obvious, same argument as Torrential. 2 Dust, Tornado, anything that sides any kind of field spell, or main decks any kind of field spell, this is really strong against because it protects your tower. Anybody that is in a position to side in things like DNA Surgery against you, you know, Dust Tornado just answers that. And then 2 Blackhorn, you know, for derpy things, like Gear Gia and Heretics mostly. And lastly, for the amazing, useless extra deck that I only have 10 cards in, because that's all you need. You actually only need like 2, but still. 1 Shining Elf, the only card I ever make. Degusto Phoenix, just in case they're at like 2800 and you can go for game. Downward Magician. Usually if I make Phoenix, it's because I'm going to overlay into her. Synchros, 1 Hyper Librarian, because why not? 1 Cataster, Vulcan, Black Rose, Scrap Dragon, Colossal Fighter, and Crimson Blader. Well, that's it for the deck, guys. Stay tuned for the outro. And that was the deck profile, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, a huge thanks to Carl Manigat. Just one of the best Yu-Gi-Oh players around right now. In my opinion, at least. I've seen him play. He's literally very, very rarely misplays. And when he does, he usually knows it immediately. So he definitely learns from his stuff. He's a great guy. Anyway, that's enough about me kissing Carl's ass. But yeah, so like I said, I hope you liked it. Like, comment, and sub for sub down below. If you have any ideas on the deck, go ahead and comment down below. One thing I'm really trying to work on still is what to side out in certain matches and stuff. So, like, I know what to side in for everything. That's easy. It's what to side out when I'm going first, when I'm going second, etc. Just stuff that comes with playing the deck for a while. Which, like I said, I did play it for a while before, but this was way long ago. This is like before Dragon's Birthing. So if anybody has some ideas for the current meta on things that should, like, are definite side outs for, like, certain matchups, go ahead and let me know, please. That would be hugely helpful. This is what I'm planning on playing right now for YCS Philly. It has a very good matchup against a lot of the things that I'm going to be seeing there, i.e. artifacts, which I hope I don't see, but I expect to, because it's probably going to be fairly cheap. And it's really trollsy, and people like that. So it has a great matchup against that, a great matchup against Madolche. It can go back and forth with Sylvan, because Sylvan's whole basis is going to be building advantage throughout the course of the game, and that's all this deck does. So, you know, if I can maintain my advantage with their advantage, then I should be able to, you know, be alright. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for taking out your time. And yeah, Control Chaos signing out. Stay beautiful, bleh.